Welcome into the door of psychic experience. Ask and you will be given what you ask for. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened. For everyone who asks receives. Anyone who seeks finds. If only you will knock, the door will open, and the truth within your higher spiritual self will be revealed to you. Come now with us and go where angels come, and you can too. Welcome to our show. Our show is Psychic Experience. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Reverend Doris Horvath. I am the person who is presenting the show with the First Spiritualist Church as your hostess. This is show number 103. I can't believe we've done that many television shows over here at Cox Cable. Thank you for tuning in, and this is a show that has angels everywhere you look, because the First Spiritualist Church is a church where angels come, and so can you. And our church is located in City Heights area of San Diego. We have resident angels, myself, the pastor, Reverend Doris, my assistant pastor, Reverend Marcella Jones, our UN master, and our president, who's also part of our Trinity, is Reverend Rosie Oberles. And one of our resident angels is taking a break, Reverend Margaret Adler. She's going to be going to Florida after her heart surgery. And we have a very metaphysical, spiritual talk show for you to see today. We have many people from San Diego who are very gifted come to the show as guests. Our guest tonight is Joel Vorensky. He's been on the show, I think, 3 times now. He also lectures in our church, and he does some very interesting things. I would like to tell you just a little bit about him before I introduce him. He is author of 2 recognized and reviewed classic inspirational books: I Dare to Heal with Compassionate Love, 2001, and I Dare to Heal with Spiritual Power, 2005. The books are inspirational treasures and have received 5-star reviews and awards. And the books span the period of the 60s through 2005. I Dare to Heal with Laughter is the present book in progress. Mr. Vorensky has participated in a myriad of New Age activities since 1968 and writes about his experiences. Joel holds a degree in business, Scandinavian teaching certificate in early childhood, California teaching credentials in multiple subjects, and community college credentials in English business, and is a linguist. Joel is and has a recent formal academic background in counseling psychology classes and has obtained his master's degree in human behavior. He has a spiritual counseling practice in San Diego and is an expert in the field of emotional intelligence, feelings reflective of emotions, with 4 decades of experience. And because of his workshops that he does in my church, all I have to do is call him up on the telephone. I start laughing because he teaches people how to really laugh. So I'd like to introduce Joel. He's sitting right here next to me, and he's going to say hello to you now.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here again with you, Reverend Doris, and be happy to speak about the Animated Laughter with Feelings class.
Okay. Now, is it okay if I ask you a lot of questions?
Go right ahead. Be happy to answer the questions.
This is the best way for audience to find out even more about you. Okay. Please describe animated laughter with feelings, the class, and what does it take for participation to succeed in the process?
Well, actually, well, the main thing that it takes is a willingness to allow and permit yourself to let go and just have a lot of fun. But it's a lot more than that, because since the 60s, I've become an expert with feelings and emotion. And actually, I teach 5 different classes. However, the class that I like the best is the Animated Laughter with Feelings class.
Okay.
Okay, many people have a lot of difficulty in letting go. They get stuck, emotionally stuck. Many times in therapy, people just don't seem to move through what they need to get through. However, with this one particular class, not only can you get through those barriers, and you can have a lot of fun doing it.
I noticed the last time when you were teaching your class on animated laughter, there are a few people that were really having trouble getting into it. It's like they're scared or something.
Well, we have different ways of supporting people so that they can connect, which is one of the key words, connect with the feelings, whatever feelings are there that don't serve them, and begin to let go and release. And what I do, many times people are triggered just by other people's laughter.
Oh yes,
Okay?
that's true. It's catching.
And many times I say to people, fake it until you make it. But basically
Okay.
what spearheads the Animated with Laughter Feelings class is the connected transformational breath. Okay? And connected breath is the key. So what I ask people to do at the beginning of the class is to put their hands over their stomach area and breathe into their hands, okay? And we practice that. We pull oxygen in, inflate the stomach with oxygen, and then I ask them to drop their chin and a slow release of that oxygen. Okay, so we practice that several times at the very beginning of the class.
Okay, now, why is sustained laughter so important?
Okay, when first of all of us are on the mat. Well, after we breathe into our hands, as I said, and become comfortable with a circular connected breath, I ask people to do some bioenergetic exercises. And bioenergetic exercises, they are just the way they sound. People do it with a lot of enthusiasm, okay?
All right.
And they can go like this, or like that, or like this. And the idea is to open the different chakras in the body, in the pelvic
see.
area, in the heart chakra,
Okay.
the neck chakra. So we begin to connect more readily with the energy in our body.
I see, okay. Why do you use Sanskrit music in the video that you have?
Okay, well, there's a couple of questions. You asked about sustained laughter. Okay, once we begin to connect with that energy in our body, we begin to exhale very slowly. And I use a very, very succinct thought to make the connection. I say think, use the clap with sound, and then I say laughter. I begin to laugh, and many times when I begin to laugh, others are triggered to laugh as well. Now, to go back to that other question, why is sustained laughter important? What I find, now this is a 10-minute, this is really a 75-minute class, but we have 2 10-minute segments of intensive laughter. So that sustained laughter is really, really significant, because with sustained laughter, you can release a lot of energy in your body that does not serve you. Okay, and what was that other question, the last question that you asked?
I was asking, why do you use Sanskrit music in your videos that you do?
Okay, well, Sanskrit, I use 2 kinds of Sanskrit melodies. I use the sacred Om Namah Shivaya, and I use in the 10-minute, 2 10-minute intensive animated laughter sessions, I use the Gayatri mantra.
Oh, that's very powerful.
The Gayatri mantra is extremely powerful. It
Yes.
is a profoundly healing mantra. And it just supports people in their connection with that energy in their bodies, those feelings that do not serve them, and facilitates the release of that energy.
I see. Okay. What is the significance of the circular connected healing breath that you do?
Well, the key to the process is making that connection with those energies in one's body. So, for example, if one has some pain in the left knee or pain in the back, one can also breathe into that where that pain is, where that pain energy is. And then you drop the jaw and it's a slow release, and then one thinks laughter. One actually says the words connect, think, laughter, and use the sound of the clap, which is one sound, to facilitate that release of that energy. So it's a circular pattern that we learn, and that circular pattern is significant in succeeding at animated laughter with feelings.
Now, do you actually send that to the area that's bothering you, that's in pain?
Absolutely. Absolutely. One can breathe into that area of the body where one feels that pain. One connects with it. And again, that's a key word, connecting with it and then releasing it.
Oh, that makes me want to ask this next question. Excuse me. How is the use of sound significant in the healing process then?
Excellent question, because sound is very, very significant in healing. As I mentioned before, I use the clap, but there are many, many modalities that use sound. For example, the Tibetan bowls.
Oh, yes.
That's very famous in facilitating healing, the sound of those bowls. So that would be an example.
Okay, I understand that the different chakras have different tones that you can use to heal too, if you know what they are.
That's correct. Well, the key with the bioenergetic exercises that we do in the beginning of the class is to open those chakras, to allow that energy, that breath to enter into the pelvic area, into the heart chakra, into the throat, to open them. And one of the keys to succeeding with animated laughter is when everyone's on their back, there is nothing in the back of their head, okay?
Oh.
Because if you have something under your head, it will close off the neck chakra. So I say to people, just lie down on your back without anything under your head.
No pillow.
No pillow under your head, because if you put your head on the pillow, that may close off the neck chakra. And we want this circular pattern to take place, the oxygen to move in a circular way through your body.
Okay, maybe that's why round pillows are better for you than the normal ones. Okay, then what are the body movements that are used? For example, the two energies, knee movement, weaving of the wrists. Can you demonstrate that?
Well, absolutely. When once one has connected with the energy in the body and doing that circular pattern, the energy, you begin to feel it in your body coming up and out, and the movement of the knees. Like, have you ever seen a ballerina on their toes? And their knees are moving like 10 miles an hour.
Oh, yes, and you wonder how they do that.
They just keep on moving real rapidly. Well, they are moving the energy. They are moving energy in their body as their knees are moving. So when everyone's on the mat, I encourage people also to move their knees. And also, a lot of tension comes out of your hands, out of your wrists. So I also encourage people just to shake their wrists.
Okay.
Now, some people, as you said in the beginning, you said that some people have difficulty moving that energy. So I do this. Now, what I do now, I would like you to do back to me, okay?
What's that?
Okay, so watch. So,
oh, that's what children do to each other.
yeah, so we are allowed to be silly and to do slapstick and to give each other the finger and to give each other the elbow, and to do it very spontaneously. So I walk around when everyone has begun to let go and laugh, and I give people the,
And that makes them laugh.
and I ask them to do it back to me, because that moves through that body armor that people have that prevent them from letting go, releasing, and relinquishing those energies that do not serve them.
Now they've got too many walls around themselves.
Right, so we use slapstick, and then I use something else that's significant, and I believe that's the next question, or one of them.
Okay. What is the significance of the chakras then?
Well, I spoke about that earlier, because
Yes,
we
you
want to
did.
let go of the energies. We want to open those
Okay.
chakras, so we allow that energy, that circular energy, to connect and release those feelings and emotions.
I think what we're looking for is, why do you use slapstick and a feather in the process?
Okay, well,
Feathers
then
tickle.
the feather is great. You know, that's something that I thought of. So I bring feathers to the class, and again, that enables someone to move through that energy by just going over and looking at their neck and waving the feather, okay? And almost immediately they begin to giggle. Or I ask them to remove their shoes and their socks, and I will and if they don't want to be touched, I respect that, but I will go over and I will look at their ball of the foot and maybe tickle it. And
With a feather?
With a feather. So feathers are really significant in the process.
Well, I can see why you get people to laugh.
This class is awesome, okay, because other people have done other kinds of laughter classes, but when I embellish all these other factors, it becomes it becomes pandemonium in the room.
Now, I remember the last time you did it, I just couldn't believe. And the laughter keeps on going and going and going and going and going. And you're wondering if people are getting tired. And you get tired from laughing.
Well, just like the ballerina recharges her batteries with the movement of those knees, what many people find in doing the process is, well, of course you can rest during the 10-minute session and stop and take a break and then go back to it. But again, that's only 2 10-minute sessions, because afterward we do a guided meditation, then we do a silent meditation.
Okay.
And after the silent meditation, I turn on and people feel very much at peace, because you get that release, and then you get the guided meditation, then you get the silent meditation, and then finally I play the blessed Sanskrit Om Namah Shivaya, and they move into bliss. So by the time they finish the 75 minutes, the participant has arrived in a state of bliss in mind, body, and spirit.
Oh, why do you use the guided meditation, the silent meditation in the process?
Well, it's moving the participant through the different stages, from the very beginning in teaching the connected breath with the hands, breathing into the stomach, to the energy of the bioenergetic exercises in opening the chakras, to the lying on the back and doing the circular connected breath and facilitating release of the feelings and emotions by way of animated laughter, getting that energy out, that energy that does not serve one, and then moving into listening and bringing one's attention out, away from that emotional release, and then finally moving into silence and peace, and the last step being blessed Om Namah Shivaya Sanskrit.
Wow.
And I studied Sanskrit back east at the Yoga Institute.
Oh, really?
For many years, and it's a beautiful, ancient, profound, loving language, Sanskrit.
I read in one of my Toastmasters books that I get, well, there are magazines that I get, there's an article about laughter, and the author was writing about children laugh a lot during every single day. They laugh a lot, but adults don't. Very little.
Well, the research is that as we grow, as we age, we laugh less and less and less. And of course, more of that accumulated stress and distress has embodied within us. We embody that, and we become too serious.
Oh, yes. Well, I think that your method of teaching animated laughter with feelings is something that a lot of people out there need now, because we're living in a very too serious time right now.
Well, two last things. Do you know the 207th bone, the name of the 207th bone in one's body?
The 207th?
207. There's 206 bones, but there's one more, 207th bone.
207th bone. What would that be?
That's the funny bone.
It's a funny bone.
So that's one thing, and we really need to exercise that 207th bone every day. And I can guarantee everyone that with animated laughter with feelings, one can never say that one has ever had a bad day. Not possible.
No, because they got to laugh part of the day.
Because they got to laugh.
What are your participants' results then?
Well, they're happy, and they're hungry,
They're hungry.
and they also are very amorous.
Amorous?
Very amorous.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they have an emotional release.
Well, of course they have the emotional release, but they become very affectionate.
Oh, I see. Okay.
They feel more loving
Oh.
within themselves and within to each other.
Well, that brings up something that I've noticed myself recently. The couples that are the happiest in their relationship are the ones that laugh together.
You
They
got
they
it.
play little tricks on each other, little games, and they say funny things either other. It makes each other laugh together. Those are the relationships that are going to last. Isn't that the truth?
Well, I agree with you 100% because the most successful relationships are those where the two people involved really, really understand that they could laugh, but they communicate sincerely, but they also understand that they can let go of the tensions through laughter.
Right, and they have fun together.
And animated laughter is truly the best of the best medicine
I believe it.
for any emotional upset.
Now we need a funny story from you.
Well, I can tell you the story about the cockatiel.
Okay, I love it.
Now, one class that I lead from time to time is a Tai Chi class. And in the Tai Chi class one day, one of the members came to the class with a cockatiel. A cockatiel. And the cockatiel was beautiful. And she claimed that this cockatiel could not fly. Okay? It could not fly. In fact, she found it in the parking area, and she said there was a hawk who was trying to catch it. So she placed it on the ground, and we began the practice. And the cockatiel walked among us, about 15 of us, and suddenly it climbed up on my right foot, and the energy, it connected with that energy that we produce during the Tai Chi, and it stayed there for 25, 30 minutes on my right foot, regardless of my movements, Tai Chi movements. And then at the end, the teacher said, please go to Joel and check out the cockatiel. And the members surrounded me, and I picked up the cockatiel and I put it on my shoulder, and this bird just would not fly away. So the members said, well, the bird had really adopted you. So they actually gave me money to take the bird home and to take care of the bird. So I walked to my car, and this bird just stayed on my shoulder. And this is a true story. This happened at Balboa Park here in San Diego about, I would say about 2 months ago. And I opened the door, started to go into my car, and this bird that could not fly, it opened its wings and flew away.
My goodness. The bird got healed.
Well, it was quite it was extraordinary. The whole
sure.
experience was extraordinary.
I thought you were going to get to take the bird home and adopt it for a pet.
Well, I thought so too, so I was disappointed that it flew away, but detached from outcome is the key, isn't it?
That's pretty amazing. Did anyone take photographs of the bird? Or?
No one took a photograph.
That's too bad. Well, it's probably someone's pet that was lost, and maybe it was a man.
Well, it was a lost pet because someone saw a sign on a tree the next day for a lost cockatiel.
Oh my goodness.
And I did call and I did speak with the owner.
Well, I bet whoever got their cockatiel back was really happy with their bird because it was happy too. Well, thank you so much for coming. It's always a pleasure to listen to what you have to talk about, and you got me to laugh again.
I have one final comment. There is a video on a well-known website.
I know it. We can't do that.
And we can't do that, but I'm not going to say. But if you call me and call the church.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
yes. They can call the church and talk to me, and I'll be happy to give them your phone numbers so they can find out about that.
Okay.
And I want to see that movie, too. All right. Well, I want to thank our crew for their very wonderful work that they do, their dedication. And if you want to know the church phone number, it's at the very end of the credits that you're going to see very shortly. So you can call the church, and I'll be happy to call you. God bless. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.
Thank you.